First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash, and give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that pushing this truth and sincerity on the four winds of the earth, and the other Akim that's pushing the same truth and sincerity of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I would like to say Shalom. This is going to be a quick video. I had a vision / dream a couple nights ago, and hopefully it'll be edifying to the body. And let me clear this up before I go into the video. This truth is only for the 1/3 elect, hopefully elect, not the 2/3 and not the heathen nations. Only for the hopefully elect, the 1/3, the house of David, and the other large remnant that consists of men and women and children. Okay, so this is going to be a quick lesson. I had this dream / vision, I say a couple nights ago, and it was terrible. It was real. It was real. And before I get into these few precepts, I'm gonna speak on what I saw. It was like I was on the outside looking in. I was there, and the best way I can describe it, I was in this neighborhood, but I didn't live in the neighborhood. It's kind of hard to explain. I was there, and I remember seeing this individual. He had on some fatigue. I can't remember if it was all black or if he had different colors in it, camouflage. But I'm thinking it was all black. But anyway, on his shoulder, if I can remember this right, because it's been a few days ago, he had a high-power assault rifle, and it had a strap on it where he can throw across his shoulder. And on his hip, it seemed like he had two, I don't know if there was 9mm Berettas or whatever it may be, but it was two types of pistols that he had strapped to his hip. And on the other shoulder, he had, it looked to be like, seemed to be something like a shotgun, but it had a drum on it. He was artillery down to the T. And like I say, keep in mind it's real. I don't know if this was a mercenary, hired assassin, but anyway, enough rambling. What he did was okay, let me speak on this too. At the same time, it was a great famine. At the same time, it was a great famine. And it was here in the States, Babylon the Great, United States of America. At the same time, all of this chaos was happening. It was a great famine. But anyway, as I can remember, he was standing in the middle of the streets. Keep in mind, it was an upscale neighborhood. It was also lots of Jakes living in this neighborhood. Okay? But what he did was, he was calling them out. I don't know what he was saying to them. I know that it was a famine in the land. It was a famine here. And he was just calling a lot of people out of the house. So I stood back and I just watched. And I watched. I was maybe 100 yards from him, but I could see everything. I could hear everything perfectly clear. And he lured them out of the house, and it was a lot of children, a lot of women. I don't remember seeing a lot of men, but it was a lot of women and a lot of children. So he kept motioning for him, come out of the house, whatever he was saying to him. I don't know what he was saying to him to get him out of the house, but they had so much trust in him until he was calling them, begging them in, and they was coming. They was surrounding him, round about him. They was coming. And it was like hundreds upon hundreds. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, this not good. They come out like sheep. They had no weapons. So as this thing unfolds, I'm like, oh, it's not good. To make a long story short, so I can get into these scriptures. As he got hundreds upon hundreds to come out in the streets, all of a sudden, I think he pulled out his assault rifle first. Man, he mowed so many of them down. He mowed them down. And as he started to mow them down, I knew what he was about to do. And I started yelling, y'all go back, y'all run. But they wouldn't hear what I was saying. It was almost like I was in a movie, watching a movie, but I was in the movie, but nobody heard me. He just pop, 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 pop. He was mowing them down. He changed the clip. Pop, 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 pop. He just started mowing them down. Then after his assault rifle got empty, he pulled it. It kind of looked like some type of shotgun, but it had like a drum on it with, I guess you can put so many rounds in it. Poof, 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 poof. He was just mowing them down. It seemed real, it's real. So I don't know if I want to call this a vision/dream, but it was real. So I'm going to go into the scriptures on it. The best of my ability through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Keep in mind, it's real. There's a lot of children involved in it. We're going to go to the book of 2nd Esdras, the Apocrypha, which is in the King James, 1611 King James Version. Chapter 15, we'll start at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. In verse 16, there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their king nor princes, and course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into his city. Verse 18, okay, Salaki, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the man shall be afraid. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And in the same vision/dream, it was a famine. Also a great slaughter. This mercenary, or whatever he was, or whoever he was, he had no pity. Man, he slaughtered them at will. You know, and the first thing I can go back to is the men of the Lord is out there teaching and preaching to our people, which consists of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But y'all not hearkening to the voice of the Most High Yahweh, Salaki B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And this man took out a lot of people, but we understand that the Most High sent him. to cause this great slaughter. Okay? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what? Let me go to prove it even further. It was a lot of children got slaughtered. A lot of children got slaughtered. And keep in mind, Israel, it was a famine going on simultaneously. And I remember seeing, it was a lot of Edomites who were setting traps and snares for the Israelite children because it was a famine. And they were pretending that they was cooking. It was out on the streets. But it was traps. They had these big pots. You know how you used to see back the way I came up with these big pots, you know, cooking on the outside, you know, boiling food or luring these children in, the Hebrew Israelite children in. You know, they put their good seasoning on the food to permeate around the neighborhoods. But it was just a ploy to draw in the Israelite children for some reason. And they would catch them in snares. That's what I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I'm going to go to the book of Ezekiel. Keep in mind, a lot of children got slaughtered. And like I say, I don't know if it was a mercenary, but he slaughtered a lot of people, a lot of children. And this is prophecy. I'm reading prophecy. And this book is speaking. Go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 4 and read through verse 7. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and cry, for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5. And go to the others, he said, in my hearing. Go after. Okay, let me go back to verse 4. Salakia. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and cry, for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. And the men that sigh and cry are the hopeful elect, or the elect of the house of David, the 144,000, which consists of the Lord's remnant of the 1/3 elect, which consists of men, women, and children. So we are sighing and crying of all these abominations. And the Most High, via the angels, he telling the angels to set a mark upon the foreheads, which means a mark of exemption. That the death and destruction, just like the Passover, will bypass the hopeful elect, which were created before the foundation of the earth, preordained. Okay? So the hopeful elect, the elect of the house of Israel, the house of David, and the other large remnant, which consists of the 1/3, will be a mark of that is going to, bypass us over. Hopefully that we are those men. In verse 5, and to the other he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old. It was a lot of old Jakes in the vision/dream. It's a prophecy. It's speaking. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children. There's a lot of little children got put to death. And women a lot of women. But come not near any man upon either mark and begin at my sanctuary. Okay, so I want to stop there. You know what? No, I want to keep reading. Verse 7, because it was a lot of dead bodies laying in the streets. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. And they went forth and they slew the city. And they slew in the city. And that's what I witnessed in this vision/dream. It was terrible. It was terrible. But there's the power in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls God, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. They're saying that he's all love. He's not all love. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is only for the hopeful elect. I don't want to make it long. I just want to tell the house of Israel what I saw. I could pull many more precepts to drag it out, but I don't want to do that. The Spirit don't want me to do that. The Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he just want me to speak on what I seen, and that's it. I'm not going to pull no other precepts to bag it up. Straight to the point. That's what I saw, and that's what I'm gonna read the precepts through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wanted me to read, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to the book. I'm gonna go to the book of Jeremiah. It's going to be chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 19. I'm going to read through verse 24. And it shall come to pass when ye shall say, wherefore doeth the Lord our God all these things unto us. So all these calamities, all the death and destruction that's coming to the 12 tribes of the house of Israel, which consist of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay? All the death and destruction and calamities in the 2/3, which is not for you anyway. But you have no idea why these things are happening. You want to know why the Lord is allowing these things to happen. Because you praying constantly all the time, but it still continue to happen. Because the Most High Yahweh don't hear your prayers. You are of the 2/3. You were ordained or predestined from before the foundations of the earth to be holding the lot that you hold. You know, so that's why the Most High is not hearing you, because you are, the 2/3 are set up for total destruction. Okay? Then shalt thou answer them, like as ye have forsaken me, and served strange gods in your land, so shall ye serve strangers in the land that is not yours. So our people consist of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You serving idols. When you serving a Christianity that fake Jesus Christ, okay? Islam, you want to be Moors, Buddhism, all these strange gods. When you go to the book of Deuteronomy 28, and I want to say 36, and Deuteronomy 28, I want to say in, I know it 36, could be 54, I could be wrong. When they talk about that wood and stone, y'all serving strange gods. The wood is their cross. And that stone is Islam, I want to say Mecca, a false god. So you say our people serving these strange gods, okay? And so this is what the Most High say. Declare this in the house of Judah and publish it. Okay, so let me start over. Declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. So the Most High, he bringing all these calamities and the death and destruction upon our people because they want to continue to serve strange gods. All these different man-made philosophies, all these different religions. So the Most High say, after you see his men teaching and preaching on the hedges and in the gaps in the highways and the byways, preaching, warning our people on a day-to-day basis, week in and week out. Starting with the apostles and the elders and the great millstone, Salakia, on down to the other brothers that teaching the same doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, week in and week out. But our wicked people don't want to hearken. And the Most High say, fear ye not me, said the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence? So the Most High telling you, he bringing all these calamities. He going to keep bringing the death and destruction. These prophecies are winding down. And I'm not going to speak too much. But like I said, this is only for the hopeful elect. Okay, let me finish reading the precept, the scripture. Fear ye not me, said the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence? Which have placed the sands for the bound of the sea by the perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? Though the way thereof toss themselves, yet cannot prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. So the Most High, he's saying, this is what he's saying. You don't fear me? I'm bringing all this death and destruction upon the house of Israel. I'm allowing Esau, Edom, the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. He said, I'm allowing this damn heathen devil, this damn wicked dragon, to fulfill prophecy. I'm letting him do all these wicked, abominable, well, not abominable, righteous acts. It's a lock. I don't mean to say abominable, right? So I'm getting excited. His righteous acts, his righteous decrees upon the wicked of the 12 tribes of the house of Israel, which consists of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Most High said, you don't fear me? I have this wicked dragon in my hand, and I can will him to do whatever I want to do. And you still not afraid of me? The Most High Yahweh bringing all the death and destruction. Okay? Like I said, it's going to be quick. It was meant to be quick. You know, I just want to tell House of Israel what I've seen, you know. And this is the time we're coming in. You know, we did a street teaching this past Saturday. Esau, Edom, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, he took it down. You know, we do the research and we use their own words against them. And it goes to show you how they are the damn devil, the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. Starting with them damn suckers over there, Salakia, over there in Europe. The so-called elite. But soon, they're about to meet their great maker. And they can get ready for some perpetual and a harsh and rigorous, hardcore bondage. Yeah, they took the video down. They took it down, but that's okay. I'll just be more careful in the words that I use. But they head into a great slaughter, a great captivity. And I can't wait to see you dirty hyenas, you flea bag, filthy, go in them chains. Hey, but Israel, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. And this is for the hopeful elect. Not for you 1/3. I mean, Salakia. Not for you 2/3. This is only for the 1/3 hopeful elect. Not the 2/3. Because you will be destroyed right along with the heathen nations. Right along with your love for Esau, Edom. The goddamn devil, the so-called white man that the Bible speaks of. Y'all gonna be dismayed when the people or the men of the Lord that y'all thought wasn't crap. Y'all gonna be dismayed. Lord willing, I said, will those men. And so this is what's coming. This is what's leading. This is what this thing is leading to. This Maxine Waters. I'm not gonna say. It's just a buzzword. Maxine Waters. That Kool-Aid that they passing around on the four winds of the earth. Okay. Read between the lines is real. Keep in mind it's only for the hopeful elect, not for you 2/3. So we can speak in code. And the Most High Yahweh, He already sealing up His elect, so we can talk around it, and hopefully this is gonna be an edifying video. And so this is the time that we're in, fastly approaching. We're going to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. The times of Jacob's trouble will consist of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because you know these wicked devils, these dragons, they're on the move right now. You know. Cold talk. Y'all know our people, the house of Israel, the hopeful elect. You understand what the men of the Lord are preaching on the four winds of the earth. So I'm not gonna say certain words, but for the hopeful elect, you understand what we're talking about. Okay? So this is for the hopeful elect. The times of Jacob's trouble. Chapter 30, I'm gonna start at verse 4. I'm gonna read through verse 7. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, the northern kingdom, the northern kingdom, and the southern kingdom. For thus said the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, fear, and not of peace. Ain't no peace coming. Especially that vision / dream I had the other night. Ain't no peace coming. All these lies they telling you, you know, we're telling the world. But we don't care about the world. Not this world. But the only world that the 12 tribes, house of Israel, care about is the world of 2nd Esdras, was it 69? Verse 6. And ask ye now, and see whether I may do a travail with child. Wherefore I see every man with his hand in his loins as a woman travail, and all face are turning to paleness. So it's about to be a time come, and it's right around the corner, where the mighty men, was supposed to be mighty men, or the so-called tough guys, they're gonna have their hands stuck down in their pants, grabbing onto their marbles. They're gonna be screaming like a woman in travail. It's about to be some time that coming up on this planet, Earth, that never happened since there have been people inhabiting this earth. Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is Jacob? The 12 tribes of the house of Israel, which consists of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's about to get so terrible. So we are going to need some divine intervention. Okay? So that's what's about to happen. Go back to that vision. That was a terrible dream. But I just have to speak on what I saw and pull a few precepts to speak on it, and I use my own vain words. And so this is the time we come in. Before I read this last precept, I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna read this precept and close it out. If you can remember, Israel, that watched our videos, Sons of Jacob 144, I'm going to put up an extension channel, Destroyers of the Gentile 144. Before I read this last precept, this is how terrible it's about to get. The video that we done it was about this this demonic legion / reincarnation right after camp. And where we preach at is hard to see because there's a lot of trees and buildings. But immediately, as soon as camp was over, we went to the parking garage. And as we walked, we see this chariot. It was a flashing light. It got my attention. So I didn't want to tell my brother. I said, let me wait before I say anything because it could be a plane. And the first thing I saw was a light. It was like an amber color light flashing. And I kept staring at it. And it didn't move. So I started to get excited. I said, oh, there ain't no plane because they've been in that spot for too long. And it was almost like they was reading. They was reading my thought. And as I continued to look at it, I looked at my brother, but he looked, just said, so I called, I said, hey, and I said, look, man. And as he looked, I said, Warrior Allah. It dropped down, and we could see the whole shape of it. It was shaped like an arrow almost. And you could see the trim of the whole chariot. It was like a real dark emerald green with an amber flashing light. It dropped down so smooth. And the more we started to chant, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the more the chariot started to act up. It started moving side to side. And it never changed direction. It just slid on so smooth. But saying all that to say this, the chariot of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the angels that protect over his men, scattered abroad in the four winds of the earth. So any troublesome time that's coming, the time of Jacob trouble, this is what we're going to have to depend on. I want to go into the book of Daniel. This is how troublesome it's about to be. Going to the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So we are prisoners of hope. And we seen that chariot, and I can't get it out of my head. It's still engraved in my heart right now, which is my mind. And we're going to have the same fate in these dire straits, place of difficulties. So I just had to bring this quick video out. Hopefully it was edifying. And I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, and give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that pushing the truth and sincerity on the four winds of the earth. And to the other Akim that teaching the same truth, this doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, as it is written, like the Shalom, Baba Ball. We got next. Shalom.